have a hairdresser in your social bubble. Always helps. Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Elliot and today we're going to be reviewing The Dig on Netflix. So Carey Mulligan plays Mrs. Pretty, who owns a very hefty piece of land. She's quite well off. This land has mounds on it that she believes could be burial sites with hidden treasures inside of them. So she contacts Mr. Basil Brown, played by Ralph Fiennes, who is a king of excavating, if you will, and basically she pays him to uncover the treasures that could be hidden on her land, and I won't say much further than that. So starting with the characters, Carey Mulligan, she deserves so much more credit than she gets. She is a beast of an actress. I watched her not long ago in the movie Drive, and just comparing her performance in Drive to her performance here, she knocks it out of the park. She really is quite a talented actress. She's very prim and proper, but she's stern and stubborn, and she will fight her own corner and she'll get what she wants. Like, she knows what's right and wrong, and she knows when she's being played. You know, she just has such a range to her that's truly incredible and quite impressive, and I always enjoy watching her. Ralph Fiennes, I mean, it goes without saying with this guy, he's also an absolute monster of a performer. From Lord Voldemort to this, where he's playing, I think he's from Norfolk. I'm not great with my accents. At times I thought he was a little bit Cornish, but I'm going to go, considering the film's set in Suffolk, I'm going to guess that his accent was Norfolk. But it's such a change of pace for him again, and I love characters like this, the people who, they're the unsung heroes, but you know, they, whatever it is their craft is, they can do it with their eyes shut. They know everything about it. They know it like the back of their hands, and they know more than the proper professionals do. I love these sort of characters, the guys that are just efficient to a T. They're just fun to watch. The performances truly lift the material, in my opinion. I think that was the most captivating part of the movie, was just watching these performers interact with each other and pull off these roles that you wouldn't necessarily expect from them. The story, it starts really strong. I was very invested. I didn't think I would be. A film about excavating. I thought, wow, this is doing really well for 45 minutes into the film. I still care and I'm still invested about digging. That's a credit to the movie. I will say that as it reaches the second act, it does seem to lose its way narrative-wise. It does seem to sort of forget about Basil and Mrs. Pretty, and it looks at other characters that I understand why, but actually in hindsight, are they necessary characters? I'm not entirely sure if they are. In particularly the character played by Lily James. I actually really like Lily James. I think she's a great actress. I just don't think the character she's playing here is entirely required. She seems to add 20 minutes to a film that doesn't need to be there. It could go without, and it could have been a much smoother film. I think the editing suffered a little bit as well. I think they were trying to be artistic with their editing, and sometimes it was to a detriment. They often had audio continuing once the change of shot had happened. Sometimes conversations were happening and you could hear them as if you were in the room, but actually the shot was showing it from outside of a window, which it just plays with your senses, because to your mind you should be hearing that muffled. It's through windowed. But you're hearing it like you're hearing me now, like as if we're just talking. There's just a few things like that. If you're not bothered by that, you might not even notice them. If you're like me, you might notice them, and they might just pull you out of the movie at times, but I don't want to harp on about it too much, because I feel like I'm having a go at the filmmaker for being creative, which is not something I want to do. Be creative. I like, the fact that they've gone out there, they've not just done basic shots and gone, there you go, face to face, face to face. They've tried to be clever with it. And sometimes it works. I would say 90% of the time it works. There's just the odd time where it's like, it doesn't seem to line up. There's a part towards the end, and this isn't spoiling anything. There's the same location, and it intercuts the same location between what's happening in the daytime at that location and what's happening in the nighttime at that location. And okay, yes, you can separate because of the light and the dark, but was the dark the night before going into the day, or was this the day heading into the night? It's a little bit jarring. I think my biggest gripe with the film, it really is just the structure of the narrative. It seems very intent on telling this story of Mr. Brown and Mrs. Pretty and Mrs. Pretty's son, and the digging, the site, and what's going to happen there. And it does just sort of teeter off and go elsewhere and sort of pretend that Mrs. Pretty and Mr. Brown aren't the main players, when the majority of the film they are made out to be the main players. But ultimately I enjoyed it. A film about digging. It doesn't sound like a lot to it. I really did enjoy it. It held my attention. It's beautifully shot. It's really nicely written. The performances are fantastic. Like I say, my only issue really is sometimes the shots were a little bit too artistic to merit, and sometimes the story just wandered off into sort of the realm of fantasy and sort of not really what the story's focus was. I'm going to give The Dig 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching this review. If you could leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you're new, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks.